Hello and welcome. Sugosha Media Private Limited presents a daily dose of aerospace and defense news from India and the world. This is your host Shanti Kuber presenting the news for today. The headlines: 22 British defense companies with $60 billion in revenue keen to do business with India. Bangalore-based Pixel eyes India's defense for application of its hyperspectral imagery satellites. MoU between RRI and WESCE. Joint military exercise Kavach concludes at Andaman and Nicobar Island. US, Canada, India, Japan and South Korea complete multilateral exercise Sea Dragon 2023. In the global headlines, Greek company EAS and Heckler and Koch sign strategic partnership for defense material production and research. The Belgium and UK signed cooperation agreement for MQ-9B unmanned aircraft. The news in detail. A group of 22 British defense companies with collective revenues of about $60 billion are planning to boost tie-ups or make new investments in India as they look to diversify their supply chains. The UK seeks to deepen economic, defense and security ties with India. Around 11 of them already have been established joint ventures of subsidiaries in India. Among those with a presence in India's aerospace and defense sector, BAE Systems has an Indian unit, MBDA has a venture with Larsen and Turbo, and Rolls-Royce is looking to collaborate on jet engine technology. The Bangalore-based space tech startup Pixel, which marked its first foray into the surveillance and reconnaissance sector after it recently won a United States defense contract, is keen to use its hyperspectral imagery satellites for the Indian defense sector. Hyperspectral imaging takes a spectrum of light and divides it into hundreds of narrow spectral bands so one can better understand and discern anything on the planet. Pixel is aiming to build a constellation of such hyperspectral Earth imaging satellites and analytical tools to mine insights from space data. The startup has already deployed 3 demo satellites, with the latest called Anand being launched from an Indian Space Research Organization rocket last year. In their vision for the company, the startup had said that their satellites will be used to build a health monitor for Earth by focusing on climate, environment, forestry, and agricultural use cases. VC stands for Weapons and Electronics Systems Engineering Establishment of the Indian Navy. It specializes in the development of weapons and electronic systems. In order to promote research in quantum technologies, MoU was signed between VC and Raman Research Institute of Bangalore. Andaman and Nicobar Island Command conducted a large-scale joint military exercise Kavach involving the assets of the Army, Navy, Air Force and Coast Guard. The exercise was aimed at fine-tuning joint warfare capabilities and standard operating procedures and enhancing interoperability and operational synergy between the forces. Elements of the Shatrujit Brigade of the Army, Armed Forces Special Operations Division, Special Forces of the Navy, and amphibious troops of the ANC participated in the multi-domain exercise involving amphibious landing, air-landed operations, heliborne operations, and rapid insertion of the special forces from mainland on a remote island of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The US Navy and 4 allied partner nations concluded operations for the annual multinational exercise Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon is a US-led multinational exercise designed to practice and discuss anti-submarine warfare tactics to operate together in response to traditional and non-traditional maritime security challenges in the Indo-Pacific region. In its fifth year, Sea Dragon 23 brought maritime patrol and reconnaissance aircraft (MPRA) communities together from the Royal Canadian Air Force, Indian Navy, Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, Republic of Korea Navy, and the United States Navy. The 2 week exercise, which began on March 15th, focused on advanced level anti submarine warfare tactics training as well as successful integration and participation with US allies and partners in the Indo Pacific region. The official presentation of the strategic partnership, a contract worth €50 million between the Greek company EAS and the German company Heckler and Koch, took place on April 6th, sealing a decade-long successful partnership between the two companies. The two companies have a long history of cooperation, which began in the late 1970s when H&K received the contract to equip the Hellenic armed forces with portable weapons, which were manufactured at the Aegis factory with H&K know-how following a license obtained by the then EBO. Belgium and United Kingdom have signed a memorandum of understanding to enable close cooperation and future collaboration on their MQ-9B programs. The signing sees the UK and Belgium become the initial participants of the MoU, which allows them to enter into detailed arrangements to work together on all programmed areas, including certification and airworthiness, training, sustainment, and future capability enhancements. As the lead customer procuring the MQ-98 to be known as the Protector RGI in RAF service, the UK has established the MQ-9B Cooperation MoU to enable cooperation between like-minded international governments who have procured a variant of the MQ-9B. That's all the news for today. Thank you and have a great day.